welcome to Movie Review Mom. If this is the very first time that you've discovered my channel, yay, I'm so glad you found me. I've been waiting for you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I truly appreciate your support. You can visit me also on Instagram as Movie Review Mom, but you can also find me as Trina Boice, which is my real name, where you can learn about my daily podcast, my books, my online courses, and all the other silly things that I do. So let's get on with today's movie review. The movie is called Triangle of Sadness. I finally got a chance to watch this movie. It is a dark comedy that released in theaters just a little while ago, and I think it flew under the radar for most people, and for good reason, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But the movie is rated PG-13. I'm thinking it could be even R because of some of the content, which I'll tell you about here in just a second. It's 2 hours and 27 minutes, which is really long, and I'll get into that in a second too. My overall movie review mom grade is, drumroll, a B. So now let me explain. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things that I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, and an interesting line that caught my attention as I was watching it. And then we'll finish up with recommendations for some other films that I think you'll also like if you like this one. All right, let's dive in a nutshell. All right, so the story is about a group of very wealthy people who become stranded on an island and become dependent on the people who were serving them while they were on this luxurious cruise. Now, one of the characters is a fashion model, and a young friend of mine is actually a highly successful model who travels around the world walking in fashion shows in Paris and Milan and New York City. And so it's really fun to see how she's doing and to see where her career has taken her. But that's only one of the wealthy people on the ship. So the movie, I won't give you any more spoilers, but the movie was written and directed by Ruben Östlund. This is his very first feature film in English. The movie received an 8-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival in France, where it won the Palme d'Or award, which is, you know, the Gold Palm Award. So let me tell you some of the things that I really liked about this movie. First of all, the direction is fantastic, I thought, noticeably. And I'm always so excited when I see that. There are so many creative shots and interesting perspectives. And it was just really fun to watch what the director was going to do and how the director was going to present certain ideas that can be told visually. The entire cast does an excellent job. I'd never seen Harris Dickinson and Charlby Dean in anything before, and they were great. Sadly, Charlby passed away just a few months ago at the young age of 32. Woody Harrelson plays the captain in the movie, and if you've seen the trailer, you've seen him and probably got excited because he's in it. As expected, he's hilarious and awesome, and it's also easy money for him since he really wasn't in the film that long. And I'm seeing that trend a lot more in movies where you get these big stars who've been around for decades, and now they're just collecting an easy paycheck by getting their name on the movie poster with really very little screen time or effort. So that's kind of what happens in this movie. However, when he's on screen, he's awesome. The idea of rich people stuck on a luxurious yacht dependent on servants for their survival comes from J.M. Barrie's 1902 play called The Admirable Crichton. Now, I've never read that, so I thought that that was interesting and fun to learn about the inspiration for the story. The languages spoken in the movie are plenty. They include English, French, German, Greek, Swedish, and Tagalog. The humor and the situations are just absurd and sometimes insightful. Title cards separate the movie into 3 distinct parts, and they really do feel very distinct. The satire is sharp, sometimes witty, and sometimes subtle, although most of the time it's pretty obvious. Now, let me go on to the things that I didn't quite like or just thought could have been done a little better. First of all, the first few scenes with the models were hilarious. But then everything came to a screeching halt when we have to watch an unmarried couple argue about money for way too long. We got the point within minutes, but it just goes on and on and on. And I found that some of the other scenes just overstay their welcome way too long. Due to several lockdowns during COVID, filmmaking was started and stopped 3 different times. And I'm not sure if that's how they came up with the idea of having 3 sort of distinct movies. Now they're the same characters, but again, you can kind of sense there's a different feel and rhythm to each of those sections. Now, if you get seasick, beware. At about the 1 hour mark, the boat starts rocking in a storm with waves crashing, and the camera starts rocking, and the scenes that last during this whole episode make you extremely squeamish while you watch people throw up in various ways for way too long. The movie is simply way too long. The point could have easily been made in 90 minutes, which is the typical length of a movie, right? The gross scenes could have easily been cut to shorten the length of the movie. I mean, you could gotten rid of a lot of those. We didn't need to see each passenger projectile vomit. It's disgusting. Some people will just laugh with delight because of how gross it is. And I'm not necessarily in that camp of people. So just fair warning, it just goes on and on and on. So have you noticed that many of my comments include the words way too long? Yeah. And however, the ending just goes by really fast. And the last scene is ambiguous. I think for some people, they're going to be like, wait, what? What happened? And maybe the director could have spent a little bit more time on that to tell us exactly what's happening. But anyway, the trailer makes you want to watch the movie. Unfortunately, some people will get more out of the few minutes of the trailer than they will watching the entire movie. Long movie. So let me give you some tips for parents. First of all, this movie is really not appropriate for kids. Plus, I think that they're going to be really bored. If they could manage to stick through the boring stuff for an hour, adults talking kind of thing, they might think the whole throwing up thing is hilarious and awesome. But really, it's not appropriate. There are many disgusting scenes involving vomit, like I mentioned. We also see a naked man on the toilet where things are coming out from both ends during this whole episode. I mean, I'm telling you, it's disgusting. People get drunk. Someone kills an animal with some disturbing sound effects. And we see several unmarried people in bed together, different times, different couples, sometimes with motion. We know what's happening. That's inappropriate for kids to watch as well. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well and very creatively are rich versus poor, influencers, inequality, power, capitalism, dependence, survival skills, working together, contributing to society, and the status quo. So it definitely throws a lot of interesting ideas out there, and ones that are definitely fun and interesting to talk to with the people with whom you watch the movie. So let me share an interesting line. I like to include funny lines and interesting lines on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So I'll just share one of the interesting lines, which is where the movie gets its title from. So these male models, are auditioning to be in this marketing campaign for a product. And so this male model comes out and, they have him walking and looking and smiling, or, mostly looking serious. And then one of the judges, I guess, of the casting department says to the male model, "Can you relax your triangle of sadness?" And he's referring to this little area right here on your face, right, where the little wrinkle lines get when you're sad and that kind of thing. And so I just thought that that was clever because it's referring to that moment, but also we don't know if the cruise went into the Bermuda Triangle, I don't know, because they don't tell us that. But when they're in that storm, and then what plays out, the sadness, they get to the island, some, not all, get to the island, and then there's a search for happiness, sadness is involved, and the power struggle, and again, ranking who is the highest of of the highest value in society while they're trying to survive, which I just thought was very clever. All right, so 2 movies instantly came to my mind that I want to recommend to you if you enjoy this one. The first one is Zoolander. Now, I love that movie. I have for years. My kids laugh. We think it's hilarious. And it's about male models. And so when that whole Act 1 beginning opening scene was all about these male models, I just thought instantly of Zoolander. And I kind of thought that's how the whole movie was going to go. I hadn't seen the trailer. No, I take that back. I had seen the trailer, but I just thought there was going to be more about male models. So anyway, just super fun, goofy, silly movie. And then Titanic. Now, the reason I'm mentioning that one, it's not a comedy. It's definitely a drama, but there is that rich and poor look at society and who is contributing to society the most, who is of value. And I think that Titanic does a great job of taking a deep dive into, first class, second class, third class steerage, or I forget how many classes they had in the movie. And then, of course, they're on a big ship that, crashes. And so then there's some survival going on. Anyway, so I just thought of that one as well. All right, if you watch this movie, I hope you enjoyed, and comment down below. Let me know what you think of the movie. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you have a favorite movie or one that maybe you thought of while you were watching this one, I'd love to hear that one too. Thank you so much for your support. When you get a minute, click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you found it to be helpful in deciding whether or not you want to watch this film. All right, have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.